An opening statement from Coach, and then we'll open it up for some questions. Coach.
Well, tonight just wasn't a great night for us. At either end of the floor, the physicality of Missouri just overwhelmed us from start to finish. They were physical, they were passionate. I tried to warn our team about this the last couple of days in practice, but they didn't respond. We got to do a better job of helping them respond. But give Coach Martin a lot of credit. His team was ready to play. They played like a team with their backs against the wall. We played like we had, we were entitled a little bit. And we just wasn't a good night for us. So very disappointed with this loss. I've shared with our team that, in the SEC, anybody can get beat on any given night. And hopefully they'll heed that warning, and we'll be able to find a level of consistency as the season moves on.
Next, Coach, start in the front row here with Chandler.
Avery, how much of you guys' offensive struggles was self-inflicted, and how much of it was just, Konzo came in here and said they wanted to double every ball screen, they wanted to be very aggressive. How much of that was their defense, how much of it was kind of self-inflicted stuff?
They did a great job. They impacted the ball a lot. Our spacing wasn't as good. We didn't have enough guys looking to make plays. When they were open, we turned down shots. We seemed like we were always trying to pass the ball back to Colin in certain situations instead of guys just making plays. We got stuck too much on offense. The ball stuck too much on one side. Just didn't have as much balance as we had in our last game.
Back right, Alex.
Talk about those stagnant. I think there was an 0 for 8 drought at one point, 0 for 7 later in the game. Just kind of speak to some of that. It did look like you're trying to move the ball around, but nothing was kind of coming open, or nobody but Colin really wanted to take a shot.
Yeah, and I just think in those situations, when we miss shots, it's hard to shoot 35% from the field and you only get, 7 deep offensive rebounds. That's not even our game. If you shoot 35% from the field, we should have 15, 16 offensive rebounds, but that goes to the physicality part of the game that just wasn't there tonight. We moved the ball, we missed some shots, yes, but we got to get on the boards, and we weren't relentless tonight. We weren't resilient. We didn't persevere through, some tough adversity on the court tonight, unlike some of the games that we have here recently at home.
Go all the way to the back, Scott.
It was kind of an odd game because I was shooting about 11 on the free throw line, only 11 turnovers, pretty clean offensively, but as you said, sometimes shot selection, turn down the good one is not good, not necessarily bad shots.
And when we got in the bonus early in the second half, we didn't make them pay enough. They got, in the bonus fast, and we just didn't make them pay by being aggressive and running and moving the basketball, but just being in attack mode. We had a couple of situations where we were wide open for shots. We were pump faking ourselves covered. So, it just goes to a mentality, and I thought, coming into this game, our preparation was good, and I thought we were, we've had some really good practices, but we just didn't get the carryover that we needed to be successful against Missouri, a team that, they have a high RPI, or strength of schedule. They play some tough teams also, and they're a tough team.
Second row to right, Caleb.
Coach, you mentioned Missouri coming in playing a little bit more desperate. How do you think, when you talk about the mindset, how do you think your team can learn from that going forward, as every team is going to be, looking to make a run?
Well, we better learn, because nobody's going to give you anything. This is probably the hardest thing. It's easily the hardest basketball that our young players have ever played in their life. They've been scouted more than they ever have. Guys are watching film on them around the clock, just like we're doing with other teams. And you have to be ready to play. If you're a rebounder, they're going to try to stop you from rebounding. If you're a shooter, they're going to try to run you off the three-point line. If they think you're an assist guy in certain situations, they're going to try to force you to shoot. So that's just the way it is. If they think you're limited on defense, they're going to attack you on defense. So this is the hardest basketball situation our young guys have ever been in. And on top of it, our returning guys that, whomever it is, we need everybody to step up. We need a total team effort. We're not a one-man band.
Front row, Drew. Coach, with 7:45 to go, you had them in the double bonus, it seemed like there was still a lot of reliance on the 3-point ball. Did you? What about that? Did you think that why offensively? Why wasn't the rim attack?
And you know what, Drew? That's just a mindset, because the easiest thing to do is launch a contested 3-point shot. It takes more work to get to the basket. You know, there were a couple of situations where, you know, we should have gotten the defensive rebound. It takes energy. Set great screens. The easiest thing to do is launch a contested 3. But, when you're determined and passionate and you're playing with a purpose, you'll figure out a way. But, my voice is hoarse for a reason, because we need more people talking on defense. We need more of our players talking on offense. But they'll get there. We love our guys. We're just very disappointed with this loss, and we should be.
Do a couple more questions. We'll start with Matt on the left.
It seemed like anytime you guys tried to push the ball in fast break, they had multiple guys back guarding it. How much, did that hurt your offensive game and hurt your flow?
It's a numbers game. Our big guys got the rebound, and they got back with 5 against 4. It seems like when we were on the break with 3 guys, it was 4 defenders against 3. And, the other guys weren't running hard enough. So we got to run harder. We got to be more relentless in those situations. And again, when we say run hard so that we can shrink the defense, it's for a reason.
Okay, last question, back right now.
You mentioned it in your earlier statement, and then obviously Colin said it when he came in as well. The word entitlement. I guess what do you attribute that to, and why would this team this year be in that mindset at this point?
Well, I just think, I don't know, it's just the hype of maybe winning a big game, and obviously the expectations. And we started the game off sluggish. We started the game off like we wanted somebody to give us something. And that's normally not the MO of our team. And, we just I got to do a better job in these situations. I didn't feel really good about this game. That's why we tried to, really be passionate and teach and motivate and correct and do all of the things we have the last 2 days, because I know what Missouri is capable of. I told our team, and I think I shared it on yesterday, if we didn't treat Cassius Robinson with the same respect that we did with the Oklahoma point guard, we're going to be in trouble. And, he's good. I tried to tell our team he's really good. And he made some big shots for them. He started off the game making big shots and finished the game making huge shots. He's a veteran player. A lot of times these guys may have not been 5-star guys coming out of high school, but they're older now. And they're 22 and 23 and 24 years old, and they're experienced. And they're playing with something to prove. So, hopefully we'll learn from this, because now the second half of SEC play starts, and, we got to go on the road and try to get some of these games back that we lost in the first half of conference play.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay, thanks.